All right. First of all, good evening to all
Good
my
evening.
women and men out there. It is Thursday, and so I decided to do a Friday Eve chat because tomorrow, well, today, if some of you guys don't know, it's my anniversary. So tomorrow I want to be able to celebrate with my good old husband, and I cannot wait. But I want to make sure that I have presented to you this woman of God. I'm telling you guys, we usually start at 7:30, but you know what? The enemy tried it, but he
Right.
was defeated. I don't
Yes.
care if it is 7:55 p.m. I'm so sorry in advance for some of you guys who were waiting for me to get the scariest fearless woman segment going on for this Fearless Friday Eve chat. But let me go ahead and introduce this young woman of God. Thank you so much, Miss Queenie. I'm so glad it's my anniversary. 4 years and forever. That's what
Wow.
4 years and
Yes.
forever. Okay, let me
Praise
stop.
God.
Let me go ahead and give you a proper introduction. I love to give my fearless women a proper introduction. And then now it won't let me be great. It won't let me see your bio on here. See, look, that's what I'm talking about. Like it's tripping right now. That's all right. I'm gonna get your bio right here in my face, and I'm gonna be all right. Here we go. All right. Grace J is the owner and designer of Afro Indie and Adornments, which is a culture infused accessory and lifestyle brand that is deeply passionate about encouraging women of color to stay connected to their roots and embrace their heritage through fashion and beauty with the utmost pride. First of all, the part that I really love was deeply passionate and staying connected to their roots. Like when I first saw that, I was like, bam, spot on. As a first generation Nigerian American, growing up as a child, she was not always proud of her culture as it was not readily accepted by her peers from grade school through high school. And the story behind her brand is what drives her why and what also inspired the birth of Afro Indie. Grace J is also a spiritual empowerment coach. Let me say
Yes.
that again. She is a
Yes.
spiritual empowerment coach that is
Yes.
on a mission to ignite the fire of God in the soul of every woman she encounters. Apart from Grace being an entrepreneur, she is also a wife and a mother of three children. Oh, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Okay? Three
Yes.
children, which includes a set of twins. So, with family, business, and ministry, Grace J wears many hats to fulfill the God ordained purpose of her life. I now introduce to you
Yes.
Miss Grace J. I had to do that proper introduction.
Thank
How are
you.
you doing?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lauren. Yes, that's Grace J in a nutshell. That is me in a nutshell. Yes.
I love it. Let me tell you how I met Grace J. Oh, before I tell you how I met Grace J, this is the Fearless Friday e-chat. If you would love to chat with us, just we don't mind seeing you in the chat. Just say hi, give us a like, give us a comment, and also share this. Share this with the world. We want to hear from you. We want you to share this with the world, not because we want accolades, but because we want God to have accolades. It's not
Yes.
about us. And I always try to say that it is not about us. It is about us edifying Christ and allow Him to use us for His purpose.
Yes.
Let me tell you how I met Grace J. I was in Clubhouse, and for those who utilize Clubhouse, you can use Clubhouse in many ways. I use Clubhouse more so of networking and also, trying to step out my comfort zone and being vulnerable enough to speak to people. So I was in this one Clubhouse. I forgot what it was called, but they called Grace. Grace J up, and I saw her picture. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. And they asked her to pray. This is a networking place, but they asked her to first pray. When I say, I almost called you a heifer. I'm so sorry. When I say this woman, I don't even know who she is, but she spoke to my whole soul. And I was like,
Mm,
for her to speak, and she's not even necessarily speaking to me, but she's speaking to the people. But I felt like she personally was speaking to me and making me feel like that this is where I was supposed to be at this particular
mm,
moment. I stepped out on fear and I was like, I'm gonna reach out to her. I want her to be on the Fearless Woman chat, and I pray that I'm doing this right, because you have to make sure you present yourself right and show
right.
yourself friendly or whatnot. And so I reached out to her, and she said yes, and I was like, bet, all right, there we go. And she waited a month. Like I asked her a month in advance, like the crazy thing. And I was like, okay, well, hopefully she didn't forget. She was like, I didn't forget. I got you. I was like, yes, connect me to some people from Dallas. So it's good to see somebody from your neck of the woods, because you can always
Yeah.
somebody else's neck of the woods. But I'm gonna stop talking and let's go ahead and start playing this game. We're gonna get to know Miss Grace J a little bit more too, because we're gonna talk about and discuss those roots, and we're gonna discuss,
Yes.
how she got to step out of her box. But our game for today is Would You Rather.
Okay.
And for those of you guys who want to play with us in the chat, you can play with us in the chat. Like I don't mind connecting with you guys. And if you want to say something too, you can say something as well and chime in with us. Are you ready, Miss Grace?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. Would you rather have a live chef or a live live in cleaner?
A live chef or a live like cleaning service to clean the house?
Hmm.
Oh, a cleaning service to clean the house, hands down.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Why?
Because I'd rather cook than have to clean up. And I can cook myself, and I'm very particular about my food. And I have a
Okay.
lot of a little bit of nuances when it comes to my food. So, I prefer to kind of do that myself. And then even now, I have a cleaning lady that comes to our home, to clean up. So that's why that was easy for me.
Okay, okay. I think I would like to agree with you. Like I really love cooking too. And if it ain't seasoned right, we got
Hello,
problems.
somebody.
You know?
Yes.
If it ain't
Yes.
seasoned right, we can't eat it. So I
Right.
understand. Okay. Would you rather be the most overdressed or the most underdressed guest at the party?
Oh, overdressed, honey.
Yes, honey.
Overdressed. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You trying to stand out.
Listen, there's no other way. I was born to stand out. I was
There
born,
you go.
yes. So
Mhm.
yeah, hands down, the most overdressed. Absolutely,
Yes, like the biggest earrings, or
honey,
the biggest poofy dress. I
all of
love it.
it,
I am loving the style. Like it's
all of it.
beautiful
Yes,
and it's giving me all kinds of life abundantly.
yes.
Yes. Oh, if you're about to know me. I am very silly. I just want to let
Oh,
you know
listen,
I'm
I
very
am
silly.
too. I am too. That's okay. We're gonna be silly together.
Yeah. Queen said I concur. Yeah. The most
Yes.
overdressed. I might have lights on it too. I don't know. We'll
Hey.
see. It depends on the
Okay.
occasion.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather live without the internet or sweets for the rest of your life?
Internet or sweets?
Hmm.
Oh, I could do without the sweets.
Okay.
I could do without the sweets. I'm not a big sweets person anyhow. So yeah.
Okay. So the internet is what you gonna have.
Yeah, I need the internet. I got work to do.
See,
Yes.
You know what? You're right. Business wise, we got work to do because
I got work
we,
to do. I got
yeah,
work to do. I need the internet to get the work done. The sweets they can go on. Yeah.
yeah, because we in a pandemonium still, and we have to make sure we get our coins and be where the money resides.
Listen, okay, 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 exactly.
Yes. Next one. Would you rather lose your keys or lose your cell phone? And this was hard for me when I wrote this down.
Lose my keys or lose my cell phone. I'd rather go ahead and lose them keys.
You said what?
The keys.
The keys?
I'd rather lose the keys than the cell phone.
Yeah, because well, if you back up all your stuff, then you should be fine. But then again, you're right. You're
I'd
right.
rather lose my keys than my cell phone.
So about,
I will call me a locksmith to bring me another key. Okay.
okay, that is true. That is true. Okay, okay. Last question. Would you rather publish your diary or make a movie about your life?
Publish my diary or make a movie about my life.
Mhm.
I probably would want to publish my diary.
Really?
I would probably say to publish my diary because I feel like with written content, there's a whole lot more that I can say than can be captured in a movie.
Mm,
Movie that is about any type of book is usually more watered down just because there's a certain amount of time that you have to put a movie in. You know what I'm saying? But a diary that is written content that is usually going to be more expounded on than a movie will.
mhm.
So that's
Because you
then
can
I'm
go
an
more
avid
in
reader.
depth.
I love reading as well. So that's another thing. I love to read. I read more than I watch TV and movies and stuff like that. So
See, now I'm transitioning to that now. Like, I would have never thought that I would be reading more than I'll be watching TV. And I scare myself sometimes because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm actually reading a book. Like, seriously. And
right.
that just lets me know how much growth I'm making. But for me, I think I would do a movie because I
Uh-huh.
think my life is short, sweet. Well, not short and sweet, but I mean, we don't have to go that long to talk about my whole life. I think I'm okay. I think we'll just get to the bottom of it. We'll get to the
Get to the bottom.
climax,
Keep
and
it
then
high
we'll be
level.
okay.
Gonna
Yeah.
keep it high level.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it high intense. Y'all be like, oh my
Right.
gosh.
Yeah.
Like,
See, and I'm more detail oriented, so I like all the details. So
okay, okay. Well,
mhm.
I like it. I like it. It actually told me, kind of tells me what type of person you are, and you said you're detail oriented, and that's really good. You have to be detail oriented if you're gonna be a coach. So, hey,
Listen,
yes,
yes.
yes, definitely. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're going to get into our segment on a journey too. For those of you who have not been tuning in on the on a journey segment, when I have people come in, they speak on what they have been through and what journey they are on or transitioning to or already on at that particular moment. I also like to do a disclaimer that this is a no judgment free zone. So, with that being said, if you feel like that you have to gossip about anybody's stuff, you can go. But if you would like to gain some golden nuggets and dip them in Chick-fil-A sauce, you may
Oh,
stay if you want to and get them golden nuggets and apply some pressure to your diamond if you feel like you a diamond as well.
right.
So Miss Grace J, what journey are you on? Well, before we say what journey are you on, can you think of a time you thought you lost your way, but God pulled you out of the trenches?
When I thought I lost my way, but God pulled me out of the trenches. That's a good question. When I thought I lost my way, I would say I would say it would have to be on my journey in college from from transitioning, well, I would say after college into more of the real world, if you would say, just because going through college for me, I was lost in the sense of I didn't know which direction I wanted to go. Even when it came time to me picking my major and different things like that, I was just so uncertain and so unsure, and I just had no clue. And even when I graduated from college, I felt so lost. There was a period of time after I had my first daughter that I went into this. I was kind of like in this deep state of depression because I felt so lost. I felt so unfulfilled. I just felt like I was wasting my life in the sense of I'm not doing what I love. I don't know where to go, where to start. I felt like at a point in time my parents had crushed my dreams. So it was a lot like that. And that was a long period of time that I was going through that season in my life. But once God gave me clarity on who I am in Him and what my purpose is, that's when, I began to see the light and, so to speak, come out of those trenches, which was a very dark place for me at that time. So yeah, I would say that season in my life was probably the toughest time where I felt like God really reached in and pulled me out.
Okay, can you give me like an example? Because I feel like when you hear an example of it, people tend to draw more into us and can understand us. So can you give me something, a story that has happened to you, and then you like, oh my gosh, I look back over my life and I'm like, there it is.
Right. So I guess an example during that season would be, so for example, when I graduated from high school, for whatever reason, as a child growing up, my desire was always to be a hairstylist. Like I wanted to be a hairstylist so bad. And from childhood, I was really good at doing hair. Like I just had a natural gift for doing hair. I was so good that even in elementary school, grown people like adults that could be my mom, that could be my aunt and stuff would come to me for me to fix their hair. That's how good I was that they would trust an elementary school child to actually do their hair. And so I had dreams of always wanting to go to cosmetology school and owning my own salon, but um my parents never allowed me to do that, and it had a lot to do with the culture and just my parents background and where they are from, not being Americans. And I don't know if you've ever had any interactions with foreigners and stuff like that, but a lot of times, a lot of foreigners, because of the difficulties they've had in life growing up in their cultures or their countries, they come over here to America because they want a better life for their family. They want to be able to provide something that they could not get in their native. And so for them, anything that was not in the medical field, a lawyer, an engineer, or something that's so called in their minds prominent, it was just no. So when I wanted to be a hairstylist, it was like, what is that? They knew what a hairstylist was, but for them, that wasn't prestigious. It was like we didn't work hard and we didn't come over here for you to be no hairstylist. We
Mhm.
want our children to be, doctors. They take pride in being able to, that they have doctors and lawyers and engineers and all that stuff in the family. So it was a dark time for me because at that time I didn't have a plan B. So when I went off to college, I just chose a major. I chose anything that just came to my mind or anything that I saw on the paper at the time that I was registering. And I remember choosing child development. I chose child development as my major when I initially started college. And to be honest, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I just chose it because, like I said,
Mhm.
I didn't have a plan B. All I knew was that I wanted to go to hair school. I wanted to be a hairstylist. I knew what hair school I wanted to go to. I mean, I had all of my dreams planned out. And then it was crushed when they were like, no, you cannot go to beauty school. That no, you can't do that. That's not no job. That's something you do on the side. They looked at it like it was a hobby, like it was not something that someone could make a career out of. And
Mhm.
also looked at it like something that don't make no money. So they're like, girl, that's not gonna work. And so I ended up studying child development. And then from there, I was like, I was taking child development classes and different things like that. And I was like, what am I gonna do with this? Because I knew I didn't want to be a teacher. I knew I wasn't gonna do nothing, have no daycare. I've already come to discover that I don't have no children's ministry. Oh, I sure don't. I have children, but I'm not called. Oh, bless him.
Yeah.
I am not called to be handling nobody else's kids but my own. Okay.
Okay.
So I already knew that I was not going there, but like I said, I didn't know what to do. And so then eventually, as I was going through college, I ended up changing my major to business management. And the only reason why I chose business management because I felt like it was neutral. I felt like business management is neutral and I can probably go do anything with business management or get in any field with business management. And so that's what I did. And like I said, because I didn't have a plan B, there was nothing else that I wanted to do. And so I did went through college. It took me a while to finish college just because I felt so lost. I felt so lost. But yeah, I finished undergrad. Then eventually I went and got my master's. Um, and then I still felt lost. I still felt lost for a long period of time because I felt unfulfilled. And that was one of the things. And it took me a while to figure this out, even going through that when you are not doing what it is that you were called to do, you will never be fulfilled. I don't care how much money you are making. You will never be fulfilled if you are not doing what you were purposed to do. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that I was born to do hair. But at that time in my life, that is what I wanted to do because I was so passionate about it and I was just naturally gifted and good at it. Now, I do get this question whenever I tell that story. People say, well, after you graduated from college and stuff, why didn't you go back to cosmetology school and just go ahead and do hair? Because now by that time, you real grown. You know what I'm saying? You real grown. You done graduated. You're not in your parents' house anymore. And to be honest, at that time when they crushed my dreams back then, I completely lost the desire to do hair. That's how mad I was. So for a while, I had resentment toward my parents. I mean, I don't anymore. But at that time, I had a lot of resentment because I always wondered in the back of my mind, what would my life have been like if I had done something that I was really passionate about doing? Then once I graduated from college, I still had more resentment that came because I was like, okay, now I'm stuck with student loans. I'm stuck with these student loans that I never desired to have, all because I was forced and pushed to do something that I never wanted to do anyway. You know,
Mm.
that was a thing for me. For a long time, I was like, okay, they crushed my dreams. I love my parents. So, like I said, that was a
Right.
thing. But I felt like they crushed my dreams. And then now y'all make me go to college and now I'm stuck with all these student loans and debts that y'all can't pay for because I had to do something that y'all wanted me to do that I didn't want to do. So I had resentment from that. And so that's what I'm saying. And so I was in a dark place there for a long time just because like I said, I was going through life year after year unfulfilled and didn't know what I wanted to do. All I knew is, you know what, I don't want to do hair anymore. I completely gave up on the idea of just doing hair. I threw it out of the window. So even when I had the opportunity to do it on my own, I completely lost that desire to just do it. I did. And so even to this day, I don't have a desire to do hair or anything like that. But I do believe that it would have been something that I should have done then for a season. I don't know if I necessarily would have stayed a hairstylist, but I do believe that sometimes you can be put in position for certain things for a season before God moves you to something else. And I felt like that was it because, like I said, I was very passionate at that time.
Definitely, definitely. I feel you on that. Queen said doing hair is a form of creativity, and because it was your passion, that's why you were so
Yeah.
good at it at that time because you
Yes,
were
yes.
passionate.
And I'm a
Yeah,
creative, a whole creative. Yes.
there you we know we're gonna get to that in a minute too. Um, so I wanna go back to when you said in your culture how some people are pushed to be doctors and other higher positions instead of things that society says that that's not a good enough job or
Mhm.
whatnot. And it does kind of hinder a person because now they're torn, and they're like, why we, as children, we're like, why did you do that? Like, you done broke my whole dream, and
Yeah.
I don't understand why you did that. And me, and now that I'm a parent, I'm trying to learn how to be mindful of what my child desires, because I don't
Yeah.
want her to regret, I don't want her to resent me and then have to go back to the drawing board and then know what her purpose is. And so
Right.
it's very important for us as parents to be mindful of what we
Yeah.
say no, they can't do when they haven't even tried it yet at the
Yeah.
age that they want to try it at. So that was
Yeah.
really good. I love that. Your story is authentic and I like it. So now, what are you on a journey to right now?
So right now I am on a journey still to ensuring that I fulfill purpose. And I know that through my business, which is Afro India Adornments, it's also a brand that stems from my upbringing. But I'm on a journey to ensuring that everything that God has put in me to do, I deliver. That is the journey that I'm on. The word that God had given me in December of 2020 for 2021 is that this is the year of the assignment. So that's the journey that I'm on. That is the focus that I am on right now, is just ensuring that I am led and guided by the Holy Spirit every step of the way so that I don't miss it.
It's beautiful. I feel you on that one, like for real. Because I was a procrastinator. Like I procrastinate sometimes on certain things,
Hmm.
but now I am becoming knowledgeable of the gifts that God has given me that I knew they were inside of me, but I was always scared to do. Like this right here, I was scared to talk to people and being able to use my voice for God's purpose.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Now that I'm speaking up, it's still not easy, but it's becoming a little easier. I had
Yeah.
my first speaking gig with women who were older than me. And I was
Mm.
like, I don't know if these women are gonna be able to really be receptive of me, but God, if this is what you have, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it. And the thing is, I had to do the topic of picking the right fruit. And I was like, I've been only married for 4 years, okay? So
Yeah.
how they gonna, really receive me when I've been married for 4 years?
Yeah. You
But
still a newlywed, huh?
yeah, but God was like, why not? You've
Yeah.
been through some stuff. You're
Yeah.
knowledgeable about marriage. You might
Right.
not have been there for years, but you have seen your parents who have been married for 40 years. You have
Yeah.
seen other people go through, hell and back with their marriage. So if you still got some stuff that's going on in your life that you're working on with your husband as well, and y'all are still trying to learn how to have oneness in your life. So you can do this. And
Right.
so when I tell you I was in awe of what God was doing, because I was like,
Yeah.
these are not the words. These were not Lauren's words. I really feel like I
Wow.
know they were God's words. Me stepping out
Right.
my comfort zone, I said I was gonna take that box and kick it out the way
Yeah.
and set up my box now. So for you to say the year of the assignment just lets me know that I'm where I need to be. So thank
Amen.
you. Yes.
Absolutely.
Queen said, a lot of times parents try to live their lives through their children, placing them in a place to do what they want you to do or that which they wish they should have or want to do. That brings resentment, as they said. And then she also said, what God has for you is for you. We have to listen more to his voice, be confident in what your heart desires, and God will deliver. Thank you so much for that,
Yeah.
Queen.
Yeah.
So my other question for you is, what advice would you give the men or women who are trying to find their way in life?
Hmm. The advice that I would give for anyone that's trying to find their way in life, when I hear someone saying that they are trying to find their way in life, I hear someone that is saying that they are not sure what their purpose is. Because when you have your purpose and you know your purpose, then you know the direction that you are to be headed. And so what I would advise someone to do is they really have to get still and dig deep within themselves. Sometimes that comes at the cost of silencing all the noise around us. There's so much going on around us every day with social media. I mean, it's just so much. And sometimes it just really takes you silencing all the noise, having a moment where you are sitting down with yourself in peace, you know what I'm saying, away from every form of distraction and really sitting with the Lord to find out what it is that you are supposed to be doing. And a lot of times, the things that you're supposed to be doing is not that hard for you to find out. You know, first of all, you have to start looking at those things that you are naturally gifted at. Everybody has a gift. There are some people that I've met that'll say,
Mhm.
oh, I don't have a gift or I don't know what my gift is. No, everybody has a gift. God is a gift giver. He don't put nobody on earth without putting in them what they were supposed to deliver. And so it starts with, first of all, find out what is that thing that you are so good at, that you're naturally good at. Nobody had to teach you. You just know how to do it. And I think the thing about it is people always think that it has to be something like singing or it has to be something like dancing. No, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything in the arts in that manner. But and a lot of times too, people around you will even tell you those things that you're good at, and you'll hear it from multiple people. You know, people will tell you, "Oh, you know,
Mhm.
Lauren, you real good at writing. You just have a way of being able to write well, and or you're real good at speaking, and or you're real good at this." And you will hear it multiple times, and it'll confirm, to you. You'll be like, you know what, I am pretty good at that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's also the way that the Lord will speak to people. He'll use people to tell you sometimes when you just can't clearly identify it yourself because you're looking for something so grand. A lot of times people are looking for something that's so grand that they miss it. You know what I'm saying? There are people who just really have patience with children. They have patience. I mean, nothing that a child does can drive them nuts. They just have the utmost patience. And you know that people like that, they are more likely than not called in that direction because God has graced them with that type of patience. They just absolutely love kids. Crying and whining don't bother them. It's just all kind, so it's just being able to sit with yourself and be still, and silence the noise so that you can hear the voice of the Holy Spirit guiding you and showing you. And I always tell people, if you sincerely pray to God for him to show you what it is that you were put here to do and to show you what your gift is, he is going to show you. He will show you. Okay, he is going to show. Now, that is the thing he will do. He will reveal it to you and he will show it to you. You just have to be sensitive enough to hear when he is speaking to you because people want it to come in this grand way. And sometimes it doesn't. You just got to be still. You know what I'm saying? He may show you in a dream. He may use somebody else to tell you. You know what I'm saying? You may have that thing that keeps coming in your spirit. It keeps coming in your mind and it won't go away. You know what I'm saying? So just many different ways that he can speak to you. But I believe that if you sincerely pray to God and ask him what it is that you're supposed to do, that you can't find your way and you want to fulfill his purpose, he is going to show you. Because that's why you're here.
Mhm.
Why you're here. Hmm.
Mhm. Mhm. I love it. Um, Queen said, "That's good. Yes, quiet places. Place your phone on do not disturb. I do. That
Yes.
was hard for me last year. When this pandemic shut down, my life shut down. I was because I'm used to going. I was always a goer.
Mm.
I always went to this place. I always went that place. I had to make sure that I didn't want to sit in the house. I never had one to sit in the house. I had to always do something. My husband knew that if I sat in the house for one day, I was gonna go out the next
Right.
day because that's
Right.
what it was. And I really feel like that God really shut this down so that some of us can be still and hear
Yeah.
him. And I know
Yeah.
for me, that was it. Um, And I know it's because I didn't want to didn't want to confront some things that were going on in my life, or I didn't want to sit with myself and know myself like that. But
Right.
thank God that happened, and now it's like I want to be at the house by myself. I don't mind
Yeah.
at the house and reading my word
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
reading books that's going to feed my spiritual man. I have no problem with that. Or even watching reality TV at times, because I still do
Right.
watch TV, just to, get a little taste.
Yeah. Look, ain't
Uh,
nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with having a moment to relax and having you with honey. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
but at the end of the day, um, it's like I'm slowly but surely, I know what my gifts are.
Yeah.
I'm tapping into them now.
Yes.
And it's beautiful when you get to tap into and see another chapter in your book manifest in
Right.
God, in God's time or whatnot.
Absolutely.
So you're giving me encouragement to keep pressing forward
Yes.
and move forward in my life. And I thank you for that.
Oh, thank God. Absolutely.
So, last question is, who do you want to send love and thank right now? Who
Who do
you
I
willing
want?
to share with?
Say, repeat your question.
Who do you want to send love to and thank right now for
Oh,
just thanking people, the people in your life?
oh my God. So, I mean, first of all, I give honor to whom honor is due. I thank God for everything. You know what I'm saying? I thank God for everything that He's done. I love the Lord. I'm not afraid to say it no matter where I am. My boast is always in Him. I thank my husband. It'll be 13 years this year of marriage. 13 years in July of marriage to my husband, who is an awesome man of God. Also, I'm thankful, so thankful as well for my parents because they have really worked hard. They have worked hard to provide a life for their family that their siblings, did not have the opportunity to. Um, so I'm always grateful that my parents worked hard and they pushed and they made their way over here, and they did very well, raised four amazing children who have all graduated from college, all doing very, very well. And have raised us to a place where they've never had to hear any bad news concerning any one of us. They are very proud of us. So I'm thankful for that. And just for my church family, who's always encouraging. We're always encouraging one another, lifting one another up. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I have a really tight circle. I don't have a large circle of friends here and there and a whole bunch of acquaintances. I really, really don't. So it's family. It's family for me. Yes,
It's the family for me.
absolutely.
uh, Yeah, Queen said July Ward, and she said awesomeness. And Tina James, hello, Miss Tina James. Thank you for tuning in. She says, congratulations on 13 more forevers to go. That's
Amen.
beautiful. I love it. And thank you so much, Miss Tina, for that acknowledgement. I really appreciate you and what you do. Miss Tina James, she works for her community. She does Safe in the Six. If I could give you her information, I would. If Miss Tina James wants to give you her information, she does a lot for the Stop Six community. So shout out to her and shout out to Miss Queen who does Queen's Creations by Queen. If you want some relief, you can do Creations by Queen. If you want to get a nice little door ornaments, whatever. She does it all. She does tennis shoes. Yeah, she does tennis shoes. She does blinged out tennis shoes too. I
Oh,
like
okay.
those too. Yes. So,
Yeah.
what do you do? What is your purpose right now? And let the people know what you're doing, what your entrepreneurship, what you're doing.
Yeah, so I am a designer. I'm a fashion accessory designer. Afro Indie Adornments is the name of the brand. Like Lauren mentioned earlier, it's a culture infused accessory brand, and we are deeply, deeply passionate about connecting women of color to their roots and encouraging them to embrace their heritage through fashion, shamelessly and unapologetically with the utmost pride. And I say women of color specifically because as I stated earlier, being a first generation Nigerian American, being born and raised in the US, growing up here with foreign parents was not by any means easy. It was not by any means easy. Back then it was not cool. Okay. It's cool now. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Black Panther and all that put us on the map. Now everybody want to be now everybody want to
Everybody
be
knows forever.
everybody want to be Wakanda forever, honey. Everybody wants to, they now they all trying to do africanancestry.com and find out how what percentage of African roots they have.
What's my heritage?
Listen,
Yes.
back then it was
But why did it take? But why did it take that one movie to allow a whole different culture to come out? Like, I don't understand. It was like, why does a movie have to make something like I love Black Panther, but why does it take a movie for us to embrace somebody else's culture? I mean,
right because
how?
I think the movie for one it made us feel relevant. It made us feel relevant because when you think back on a lot of movies that had to do with superheroes and stuff like that, none of them included black people.
Yeah.
When you think of Superman and Batman, any other superhero type of movie, they never included us. So when Black Panther came out, that was like, oh, it's a superhero type of movie and it's all about us. So it just really kind of, I believe, gave us a sense of recognition. It gave us a
Hmm.
recognition and it gave us something to be proud of. That's one thing I know. When there is a monumental time, in history for black people, we gonna make a big deal about it. And it was a big deal. It was something that has never been done. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of like where we are now. It was kind of like when Obama became president. He was
That is true.
it took a long time before a black person was at that level. Even in the corporate organizations, the higher you get to the top, the less minority or colored people you're going to see. And so
Mhm.
somebody to have that high that level of power and they are a person of color, we make a big deal about it. And so Black Panther to me was one of those type of that it was one of those monumental moments. But I say all that to say, growing up back then, in the 90s and stuff, it was not cool, girl. People was not having it. It was not cool for people to hear black people with an accent. And the
Mhm.
thing, so I was never as accepting of it or proud of it because it was made fun of. I'm talking about we used to get called all kind of names. We would get picked on. And it got to a point where, whenever people would hear my parents speak, they would be like, oh, your mom and them Jamaican? Why Jamaican? Why gotta be Jamaican? It was like everybody. And so the thing about it was at a point in time, as I continued to go on, growing up, when anybody would ask, are your parents Jamaican? I would just say yes. And I would say, even though they weren't, and I would say yes because what I noticed then was that it was more accepted for my parents to be Jamaican than it was for them to be African. It was like African was a taboo. I don't know what it was about that. But back then it was like it was a taboo. So if you said yes, if I said yes that they were Jamaican, it was almost like okay, they eased up a little bit. But if I said that they were African, oh, it was like, it was like, oh my goodness. And then all the crazy questions will start. Well, what kind of food y'all be eating? Do they climb trees? Do they
The
have
stereotypes.
yeah, do they have flies stuck on their face? Oh, do y'all have cousins that's real skinny with big bellies? You know how they used to show that stuff on TV, like them real poor air. I don't know if they still show stuff like that now. They probably do. I just don't watch a lot of TV, but I know back then they used to show. So I know what they're talking about. They used to show the poor, poor parts of the African countries with the kids where they be asking, people to donate money and how they just look all skinny with the big bellies. So people would ask us all kind of silly questions like that and make fun of it. So it was something that, I never accepted until I got off to college. When I went to college, I went to University of Houston. And when I was at University of Houston, I ended up joining this organization on campus, and it was like an African, I forgot the name of it, but some type of African organization.
Mhm.
And I started to meet a whole bunch of Africans, different kinds of Africans from everywhere. And it was through that and, meeting other people that were like myself, some being born and raised here like myself, and then others that were born and raised in Africa and then just came over here. It wasn't until then that I began to find and enjoy that sense of identity. And at
Mhm.
that point, I started really embracing the culture when I found more people that were like me, that were my peers and that were my age groups. And we could talk about these things together. And, I saw other people who were proud of their culture and I began to be proud of it. And at that time, I really wanted to really embrace my culture. And I would try to go out and find things because I've always been someone who loved accessories. And so I
Mhm.
try to find different things, that I could wear that really represented my culture. And I could never
Mhm.
find anything. And that's how I started getting into making them because I would have these ideas in my head of what I wanted stuff to look like. And if I could go out on the shelves to see them and I couldn't find them. And so I started to execute what I saw in my head and
Mhm.
manifest them. And I started wearing the stuff myself. And then people started inquiring about, the stuff that I was wearing. And that's kind of how it grew. But I remember when I was in college too, one of my English classes, I cannot remember the name of the book that we had to read, but there was a book that we had to read. And this book was basically about an Asian American. So it was like a first generation Asian American who was Asian, but her parents were, from China or somewhere. And she was talking about in the book her life as an Asian American and the struggles that she has growing up in the US with foreign parents. And Lauren, when I tell you, as I was reading that book, it was almost like me reading a memoir of my life. It was like everything
Mhm.
that this Asian person was going through and experienced, I mean, to the T, to the T. And I was like, oh my gosh. So there are other people out there that feel like me, and they not necessarily even black, just
Mhm.
women of color, just other people of cultures. And that's why Afro Indie was born. And that's why I don't necessarily just serve women who are just African women, but women of color, because it's not just me that experiences that. It's these Indians that's experiencing that. It's these Asians that's experiencing that. And you will see influences of these different types of culture across my pieces. And that's why I say women of color. Because at the end of the day, if you ain't white, you a woman of color. If you're not Caucasian, you're a woman of color. You know what I'm saying? And I began to see
Mhm.
not only me that's like that. There are other people out here going through exactly what I'm going through, and you will never know if they don't tell the story or if you don't ask them. You wouldn't have known that about me had you not asked me, right? Exactly. And so that's
Mhm.
women that I desire to serve, which to me is a part of ministry. And then also to answer your question about my purpose as a spiritual empowerment coach, I am a minister as well. I love to speak at life into people. God has really given me a burden specifically to pray for people who need and require healing. But one thing that the Lord has shown me is that He's also called me to women and to ignite the fire of God that will produce in them not just faith, but the God kind of faith for them to manifest those things that they desire in their heart, especially in the areas of healing. So, honey, it's a whole journey. So not only am I, not only do I desire to inspire women to look their best at all times and to show up their best selves, honey, decked out, adorning themselves in the finest culture infused accessories, but to also be equipped spiritually to face the things in life that come. And so, honey, it's a whole package.
Y'all heard her. Dip them golden nuggets in Chick-fil-A sauce. If you didn't get anything from Miss Grace J, you tripping. You tripping hard. Cause you gave out a whole bunch of different perspectives of women of color,
Yes.
the things we went through, your why to your Afro Indie adornments, and who you are and who you are called to be, all mixed in one, and
Yes.
allowed me to know that all the gifts that God has given you is intertwining into one thing. And
Yes.
I appreciate
Yes.
you. And I thank God that you got to be on the Fearless Friday Eve chat. and I'm in awe right now. Like this is
Oh,
not
thank
this
you.
is not this is not the last time I'm connecting with you, Grace J. Like I'm serious. This is not going to be
Yeah.
the last time I connect with you. Um, you keep doing what you're doing, and
Yes.
I already know. Like the best is yet to come from you. Like
Amen.
the best is yet to come from you, sis. So I'm giving
Amen.
you your flowers, giving you your flowers while I can. Um, if you would like to, if anybody wants to link up with you, I know you can find her on Instagram. It's Afro Indie. I put it in the chat. But how else can they connect to you as a okay? I'm trying to the spiritual empowerment coaching side. How can they connect with you on that side too?
Yes, yes, that is definitely something that that the Holy Spirit is just stirring up some amazing things there. So I would it would behoove the people to follow me also on my personal page, which is at Love Grace J, Love Grace J, and also another page, my ministry page, which I just actually put that up, so there's not much on there now, but I would also if you want to find out more about the ministry side and the spiritual empowerment coaching, I'm going to be doing a lot more on that page, and that's at the Faith Igniter, and that's IGINITHER. So, or you can also just find it on my page at Love Grace J, and you'll see the link for the other one there as well. But yes, definitely follow my Love Grace J page for more on the spiritual empowerment coaching. There's a lot more that, like I said, that is being stirred up in the spirit that the Lord wants to birth forth through me for that, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. So, yeah, so definitely tap in, stay connected for more gems to come. Even with Afro Indie, there's a lot of fire that is coming. So if
I
you are
know it.
if you're somebody that is influenced by culture, even if you're not, if you just love statement pieces, if you just love statement accessories, if you are a person like me that loves patterns and colors and bold statement stuff, honey, that's where you need to be. Yes,
Mm,
yes.
that's where you need to be, honey. Well, we're going to go ahead and end the Fearless Friday Eve chat. Guys, if you want to tune in for next week is going to be poetry night. It's gonna be poetry night. I have three poets who will be here, and I cannot wait to hear their poetry. They're gonna speak life into the Fearless Friday chat on next week. If you would like more of what I do, you may follow me on Instagram and Twitter at LK Scott Fearless. That is at LK Scott Fearless. I'm also a blogger and do blogs. I haven't done a blog in a month now, but I said I'm gonna go back to. If you can find me on my page www.theseriousfearlesswoman.com. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and put that out here. I'm receiving my life coaching certification to become a resilience coach. So if you would like a free consultation, a complimentary consultation, you may go to the Scariest Fearless Woman Facebook page and you may book me as for a complimentary consultation to see if we are a good fit for me to be your resilience coach. This
Yeah.
is LK Scott signing off, saying we love you, stay fearless, put God first, and allow Him to be the foundation of your life. Peace.